Good morning or afternoon or evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mikhail. For one final time, welcome back to the Misfits Racing League season number 4. It is, of course, the season finale around Yas Marina, Abu Dhabi for, well, the 22nd round in what has been a very action-packed and very long season. Definitely all these drivers keen to give us a very, very nice show here tonight. And joining me, just like for America's Tier 2, if you happen to catch that race yesterday on the YouTube channel, Mr. Alejandro Bito. Bito, how are you doing this evening, my friend?
Hello, Mikhail. I'm doing very good, very good. Of course, staying up late, sorry, but still worth it. Of course, every minute here on MRL, so I'll be here enjoying, of course, racing.
Yes, and what a race we have in store for you. And this is the circuit they'll be doing battle on the 5.5 kilometers, 3.4 miles, 21 turns, two very, very intense DRS zones. And like we said, 21 corners, a very technical final sector for the drivers to navigate, as well as quite a few of these drivers who participated in America's Tier 2 yesterday, having a little bit of trouble at particularly turns 3 and turn 19. So hopefully they have made some setup adjustments there, and hopefully we see a few more finish that race. Just a quick look back at the amazing races that we had all throughout the season. Just looking back, cast your minds. Ones that clearly stand out to me include the likes of Monaco, and Spain, where we saw our champion Becky B pull off some absolutely phenomenal drives. I do believe he won Monaco by almost 40 seconds, Beto. So amazing performances there. Also in Hungary, you were with me there for that one for Holtz's maiden victory, and his only victory to date, I do believe, in what was a very, very entertaining race. And also, go back to I believe it was Japan where we crowned our new drivers champion in the form of Becky B. Once again, a massive shout out to our partners Next Level Racing. If you're looking to take your sim racing experience to the next level with some sim rigs, motion sims, even some flight sim gear, exclamation mark NLR in the chat, take you to their website, and be sure to well, have a little browse around and see if anything tickles your fancy. We do have a giveaway going on at the moment as well. Exclamation mark giveaway in the chat to get more information on that, where you yourself could win a Next Level Racing FGT light rig, proudly given to us by our wonderful partners. And we thank them for helping us grow the sim racing community. So, just before we get things underway, here is how the standings look into the final race of the season. So, the one to keep your eye out is that battle for that runner-up spot, Bitter. 4 points is the gap between Sejos and Yama for that runner-up spot in the championship. Williams wanting to make it at a 1-2 to seal the deal here in the Americas division, but Sejos, after his come to form in the latter third of the season, really putting his foot down and showing that he has got some real pace in that McLaren. So that's the top three, how they look. Becky B with a 327 points, of course, champion for quite a few weeks now. Sejos in second with 203, and Yama 4 points behind him. About 40 points behind them, it is Rhapsody, the Brazilian, in the Mercedes. A difficult race last time out in his home GP. He'll be looking to make amends for what could have been. BTFU in 5th place with 131 points. He has Zamas for company in 6th place with 87, who's actually still tied with Arnhel as well. So that fight for 6th place really starting to shape up. And you can't forget about Chris either. The newcomer has shown a lot of speed in that racing point, well, with Arnhel. And after his very solid performances and a bit of consistency issues as well, he's hoping to finish strong here tonight. 13 points behind them is Fritz, and another newcomer, the Indian, showing some amazing speed, picking up a couple of race wins in the process. He's 1 point ahead of Carmel, who will round out the top 10 for these guys. Casquito and Maxime B tied on 56 points heading to the final round for that battle for the 11th position. 40 points for Gabism, 35 for Vischer, 29 for Gabox, 27 for Fizimon. 1 point ahead of Holtz, who sits on 26. Cherry with 15. Striffium with 6. And then Dash in the Renault rounds out our 20. The only notable, constructors battle to look at, we have the battle for second place between McLaren and Alpha Tauri. And we also have a little bit of a scrap there for fourth place between Racing Point, Mercedes, and Renault, if they can get things to go their way. Now, Bitter, I do believe it is time for us to get into some Abu Dhabi.
Indeed, Miko. Yeah, some battles there still, of course. The both titles you said already decided. Becky V and Williams for drivers and constructors. And of course, some battles there up and well, just you can see around the leaderboard. Yeah, just show that we still have some battles, so it's still not over till it's over. And we'll see today. Yesterday we had a finale there with America's Tier 2, and of course well, we had that race winner Baton there, and of course, as well, winning the title.
Yeah, so great job there from Baba last night to win the title for America's Tier 2. Hopefully we see him here next season in America's Tier 1. He's proven his worth. And, well, that's the whole point. You know, if you win that championship, you really ought to move up and challenge yourself more, unless you're already at the top like Paris is. And then, well, Tier 0? I don't know. Maybe that non-assist tier, which is being introduced next season with a €2,000 prize pool as well. Very exciting stuff awaits the Misfits Racing League in season number 5. But it is clear skies, as most people would expect, for Yas Marina, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. We are very close to the desert after all. Both Williams very keen to be out there first. And it is our champion, Becky B, first out there on the circuit tonight, Vito.
Yeah, not only that, his teammate will have to battle for that second place. Sijos, as we saw, 203 points, and Yama just behind with 199, so 4 points of difference. Yeah, Yamamoto as well. They're going out, as we can see both Williams. They're two white dots. They're on the map already, and I think Becky probably can really help Yama to get those extra points in case he needs it. So we'll see, because normally both Williams are there ahead, but not both McLarens are ahead. So probably Williams can do some teammate tactics, let's say.
Yes, I do think it will be quite, well, that will be Becky's goal. Of course, he told us when he won the championship that he wants to keep things going strong and have some nice battles for the lead on track, particularly with Chris, who coincidentally on the timing tower is sitting right behind him in 4th place, Vito. But of course, no times yet set, 16 minutes, and well, these drivers will have the 16 minutes remaining to set the best lap time they can to determine the grid for the 28 laps that follow. But Bito, our champion, is about to take us around a lap of the Yas Island circuit. Do us the honors, and let's see, well, talk us through this lap with Becky B, if you please.
Oh yeah, you really need to maximize here the exit, because you go flat out from turn 1, now going to turn 2. Of course, as I said, flat out. Now it's just the tightest line possible. They're trying to not invalidate, now finishing sector 1. You can see 16.7. It's a very good first sector actually for Becky B. Now on turn 5 and 6, and that's again very difficult to nail on the hairpin, trying to carry the best speed there out of that hairpin. Opening DRS now for the first DRS straight of this Yas Marina circuit. Run into turn 8. One very important spot to overtake there, and of course you have the chicane 8 and 9. Again, the exit very important. Another DRS you have with DRS again, another straight, and you have another detection point just on the exit of turn 9. So very common to see some battles there. Someone overtaking on turn 8, sorry, and now overtaking on 11. So the triple chicane, very famous now here on Yas Marina. Becky is doing it perfectly. Now setting the car for the triple right-hander, 15, 16, and 17 braking just when you see the turn, trying to cut the inside part of that curve. Double left-hander now for 18 and 19, trying to brush the wall there on the exit. You can see how close they can go, and now trying to not invalidate on this turn 20 and turn 21, downshifting to 4th and short shifting to 5th. Let's see which is the time.
32.6. 32.6 to start us off here in America's Tier 1. Yama, 4 tenths off, or 4.5 I should say. 1 minute 33.0 is the bagger time for the Mexican, trying to steal that 1-2 for Williams in the Drivers' Championship. Let's go back on board with his rival, Sejos. The Speedman comes across 33.9. We see Sejos again, just like we saw Becky B, losing the rear out of turn 19. It's a very tricky corner to really get the throttle down as much as you really wanted, as much as you feel you should. And there we go, Sejos, a 1:32.679, half a tenth off of the provisional pole time, and then Fritzen in the Mercedes slots himself right there in between the two with 1 minute 32.630. Chris now on his way to the timing line. What's it going to be for the racing point? It's a 1 minute 33.134. That's only good enough for 5th place at the moment, so he won't be too happy with that. BTFU beating out his teammate for the evening, B-Man, in that AlphaTauri with 1 minute 33.435. And a couple of runners on the medium tires as well. We have Phoenix, Rhapsody, Cherry, and Captain Minor on the mediums. Now, we do actually have a couple of reserves. B-Man in for Vischer, I do believe. Phoenix in for Dash. We have Captain Minor and Will Gibson in the Red Bull. So both Red Bulls unable to attend. And I do believe there is one more. Nope.
I think so.
Nope,
no.
that's it.
Even.
That's it. That's all the reserves we have. So very, very nice to see them there.
Red Bull want to be scoring any point, it seems, for the combined constructors, and I think some Mercedes drivers will be happy with that. It seems Captain Minor and Will Gibson, of course, not able to, let's say, convert those points to the total championship. So, well, Will Gibson now having a spin out of turn 9 after taking out that bollard. At least he didn't hit the wall, so he's still there, not setting a lap because he invalidated, I think, the run he was doing. And now Trolls as well, flying, going down into turn 8.
Yeah, that's something that we haven't really touched much on in the broadcast, but there has been what we've called the Combined Constructors Championship going on. So all the full-time drivers across all 5 of the main grids that we've had since the start of the season, those being the 3 tiers, Americas that you're watching right now, and the Asia Pacific tier, which is held on Sundays. All those full-time drivers contributing to a combined points total. So just to promote teamwork within the tiers, you know, the tier 1 guys helping out maybe the slower drivers, trying to help them pick up the pace a bit and help them score some points in just another team-oriented championship. And Mercedes actually took the lead after Apex round in Brazil on Sunday, taking away from Red Bull. So Red Bull need to have a strong performance here today, tonight. But they're not going to get that because there are 2 reserves in those 2 cars. And reserves, they don't score points for their constructors that they represent. They score points for the Pirates, led by Captain Jack Sparrow, aka Some Idiot, who has stolen many points from this tier specifically over the past a few races throughout the season. Bahrain sticks out to me when he did the last to first, and I believe he did last to first as well at Vietnam as well. So very, very fast, very, very fast. Holt's good enough for the top 10 at the moment, 34.2 for him. We'll now jump on board with Malek as he starts his first flying lap attempt, also known as Arnhel in that racing point. So it isn't a reserve, it's just a different name. That just doesn't quite match up with his name. But it is the same driver. There's still the same Mexican that we all know and love. It's 16.8, the first sector split for the Mexican as he makes his way through turn 7. He's actually driving a Checo Perez's car, which is very, very, very nice to see. There we go. DRS wide open now as he goes down the first back straight into turn 8, Bitter.
Yeah, and as we said, 3 straights, only 2 with DRS. The other one is the main straight. You can overtake on turn 1, yes, but you really need the run, and probably a mistake for the other driver there on last corner, on corner 21. Now opening DRS, the Mexican, side to the left, trying to now maximize the entry. You can see braking around 100 meters, trying to not invalidate on this triple chicane, keeping the gears really high there to keep the traction stable now for gear for turn 14. As we can enter that sector 3, really, really difficult to nail, and I think he can have traffic, probably has an Alfa Romeo there ahead of him. It seems like it's Cheery and Gabox. So they will be starting a lap soon. Now Malek going wide a little bit there on turn 18. In 19, of course, you have to take that run, but in 20 it seems like he has nailed that section. Now into 21, let's see what he can do. No out of deployment, and now 33.4 up into P8, and that's a very good lap.
Yes, 33.4, 8.5 tenths off Becky Lee. Just the gaps the leader on your screen right now. I just want to take a note of these top three now after their second runs. As both Fritzen and Becky B start their next flying lap attempt. We'll jump on board with Fritzen as we're looking through here. You can see that the top three are all within 600ths of a second, ladies and gentlemen. So there's literally nothing separating the top three at the moment, with Fritzen only 100th of a second behind our champion Becky B, who sits on that provisional pole position. With 1 second covering the top 8, Karma, they're 1.2 seconds off on the medium tyre, but I'm sure this is definitely not the last that we're going to be seeing from these guys, as there's still just under 8 minutes remaining in the session.
Zamos jumps into P4, Yama is now improving on sector 3, we'll see what he can do, not invalidating there on turn 20.
Ooh.
But it was very close.
Speaking of invalidating, Fritzen getting a bit out of shape at the exit of turn 9, Bitter, and he's run on the left-hand side, running all 4 wheels off of the track. So very unfortunate there. Yama slots into 4th on his latest attempt.
He didn't invalidate that. Yama was really close, if not off track there on turn 21. He was just dancing there on the line, and well, he set it that lap time, improving 2 times and a half, I think. Now we'll jump on. I think Fritzen invalidated, and Becky B now in sector 3.
Yes, Becky B making his way underneath the Grand Hotel, which I actually had a look at the prices a little bit earlier throughout this year. I think it might have actually been last season when we were visiting Abu Dhabi. Not as expensive as I thought, but still very expensive to get a nice room there. Becky B is unable to improve, Biddo. He gets a purple final sector, but he was 300ths off. And if he set the time before, that'd only be good enough for second, because Fritzen, well, he's only 100th behind. So Becky B is going to have to go again if he wants to really be comfortable in that pole position. And we have another close gap between both Zamis and BTFU, two very long time, well, OGs of the Misfits community. Of course, Zamis, the founder of the Misfits community before the league even existed, and BTFU, well, he's been here since day one, Better. Back when it was the Misfits Discord Championship. Shout out to those guys who know about that, and a bit of Misfits history there for all of our lovely newcomers. Actually showed a lot of speed in the Toro Rosso that he drove back in that championship.
Toro Rosso.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Well, he's back in the AlphaTauri, so after his little stint last season at, I do believe it was McLaren, back in that AlphaTauri for the season just gone by. So nice to see him sort of getting back to his roots, where it all started. And, well, he hasn't had to relive the horrors that were Hockenheim in Season 2. But Chiri making his way into the pit lane now. A few guys still out there on hot laps, one of which, Maxime B in that second McLaren car. I do believe it is Chris coming across the line, and he goes provisional pole with 1 minute 32.573. So Becky B, well, now he's definitely got a challenge on his hands there if he wants that pole position. But Maxime coming through the final corner now, a little bit of a snap from the rear in turn 21, and he doesn't improve. 200ths down.
Oh god, he was improving out of sector 2, and now sector 3, probably a couple of slides there and there, and well, you can see how it can cost a lot. You really need to manage the temperatures there on last sector, because otherwise your rear will just try to slide and drift in almost every corner. Now on board with Sol, so he'll be finishing his lap in a few moments. Now on second to last corner, turn 20, and he's keeping it stable. That is what you really need to do, because otherwise your rear end doesn't like it. Jumping into P13, improving almost half a second, and he is there, the race winner in Hungary.
Yes, Holtz into 13th now in his latest attempt. Now Casquito, a double race winner. No, just won once. He won in Silverstone, second place in his debut in Austria.
Exactly.
So, got back on the points tally last week out. This is a spun Alfa Romeo. As Casquito goes 9th. 1 minute 33.420, so it's very lit from the Renault driver. And about, what is that? 600ths ahead of both Malek and Fenix, who actually have the same time at the moment, Beto, in 10th and 11th.
Yes, indeed. Malek and Fenix really close. I think Fenix is doing his debut today on the last round of the season. Very fast driver has shown on TT times. So we'll see if he can convert that to the real pressure of league racing. So we'll see now who's flying. I think Casquito invalidated, and Malek now flying. Beeman and Rhapsody, I think, as well.
Yeah, we're just having a look at Malek as he goes down the second DRS zone towards turn 11. Just having a quick look over the gaps over here. Rhapsody very out of position at the moment. 134.04 for Brazil, down in 17th place, Vito. So he's definitely going to be looking to improve on that one. Another driver looking to improve, hopefully, for this final run is, of course, Yama. He wants to be ahead of his rival. He needs to be ahead of his rival. And, in 4th and 5th, he needs to be ahead by 2 positions to secure that Williams 1-2 in the Drivers' Championship. CEST 4 points ahead into the final round here at Abu Dhabi. Malek, Angel, as you want to call him. It proves enough to go 1 position, 2.5 tenths. And he beats Maxime B by 3 1,000ths of a second. So, even in the dying stages of the season, Beto, these guys are going at it, and they're going at it hard. Absolutely nothing left in between these drivers at the moment.
Indeed. Rhapsody now invalidating his lap. He's pushing too hard. And he told me before this race he doesn't have the pace, so he wants to do something different in terms of strategy, because he doesn't feel that he has the pace, and now showing it. P17. Just behind Beeman, who's gonna finish a lap. He's improving almost 3 tenths there out of sector 2, and now on sector 3 we'll see if he has fine time, and yes indeed, almost half a second there, improving, jumping into P11, splitting those Reynolds.
Yes, a very, very nice time there for the AlphaTauri reserve. 1 minute 33.462, 200ths ahead of Phoenix, and 400ths off of Casquito. But you know what they say about P11, Beto? It's the second pole, because of course you do get that free tyre choice. Unlike real life F1, where it goes based off Q2, well, there's only 1 qualifying session for this one. 1 18-minute qualifying session to determine the grid. Top 10 will have to start on the tyres they qualify on, so aka softs. And the back 10 will have free tyre choice to maybe start on the mediums or even hards if they want to be super daring. But I don't think we'll see any hard compound tyres in this one. A lot of drivers out on outlaps for their final run this session. Do leave your predictions here. I don't believe there's actually a prediction going in the chat right now for that pole position, but Chris currently sitting on that provisional pole.
Oh, Yama was flying and he had traffic from Casquito, and I think the line is compromised already. We'll see on the when he finished sector 2, but I think that cost a couple of tenths for Yama. Sorry to interrupt there, but I was on board, and that was harsh to see because that's the last round Yama has, and he needs to outqualify CEST.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Locks up that front left into turn 8 as well. It doesn't look like the cleanest lap, but the cleanest final run for the Mexican. He needs to get every single, needs to push through this final sector. That's exactly what he needs to do. Now, let's see, he's down a tenth and a bit, so yeah, he needs to find a lot of time into this final sector. And it takes that very gingerly through turns 11 through 13. Just not quite confident enough on the throttle, having enough grip in those tires. Maybe you use a bit too much of them in that first sector, because they do give out a little bit into this final bit. And this is where you really need the grip better. This final sector, you really need to manage the tires throughout the lap, the first 2 sectors, because this is where all the corners are. This is where all the time is to be gained. We'll see if he's gained it, as there's 6 seconds left on the clock. 5 seconds now as he comes across the line. What's the time going to be? He doesn't improve. He doesn't improve enough, I should say, as the checkered flag now drops. Casquito just missing out on the timeline. Rhapsody as well. We'll have a look at Becky B, and he goes provisional pole with a 132.372. Now Chris going through the final sector now. Fritzen
invalidated.
Fritzen is invalidated, so he will not be improving. CEST going through turn 9 as we speak. So out of these front runners, it will be Chris, going first to the timing line. Zamis as well, a driver to keep your eye on. Captain Minor as well. He'll be the first one to set his final run at this stage of qualifying. What can he do? He will stay in 18th with the 1 minute 34.0. And it looks like Chiri jumps up into 11th place. Zamis jumps up into 5th. So Yama down yet another spot in this fight for second, and Chris has pushed too hard. He has invalidated his final run as well, so now all eyes on CEST. This could be huge. He only needs to find a tenth of a second to get on that front row and put so many cars between himself and Yama for this fight for the second place. Into the final corner he goes, locks up the front right a little bit. What can the time be for the American in the McLaren driver? It is the front row for CEST with 132.401. He will take that second place to line up alongside Becky B. And that is absolute disaster for Yamamoto there, who's now down into 6th place for the start of this race, Bitter.
Yes, he says I was on board on the beginning of the lap, and he had a big mistake there that I think cost him pole. I think that mistake cost him pole because it's very tight between both Becky and CEST, and he had a big snap almost going into the wall. He saved it. He pushed. He didn't lose that much time compared to his delta on the previous lap, but still he managed to improve. They're finding a lot of time on sector 2 and sector 3, but it's very close for Paul, and I think he's regretting of that mistake.
Palmer as well, the last runner to set a lap time in the session, jumps all the way up into 7th on his run with a 1 minute 32.8. They're just shy, well, just under 5/10 of a second between himself and Becky B in pole. The gap's to leader on your screen right now, ladies and gentlemen. 1 second covers essentially 1st to 14th. And then we have, well, the whole grid, aside from Strifium, covered by 1.7 seconds. So not a bad result there in the qualifying. Gabox unable to set a lap time, unfortunately, and Strifium, again, it seems the Warriors from America's Tier 2 have come back to haunt him in America's Tier 1 in this season finale. But it is Becky B, our champion, on pole position by 0.03 of a second. Joss there with a 132.401 will line up alongside him. It's an All-American top 3 with Chris in the Racing Point 2/10 behind, but he's got his rival Fritz in there for company. Those two have gone and done battle on many occasions. Zamas will round out the top 5 for Ferrari with a 1 minute 32.7. Nice to see him towards the pointing end of the grid once again. And Yama down in 6th, so he has a lot of work to do if he wants to secure this runner-up spot in the championship. The Argentinian Karma in 7th place, Maxime B in 8th, BCFU in 9th, and Melek, aka Angel, will round out the top 10 from Phoenix, Cherry, Cosquito, B-Man, Will, Gibson, Holtz, and the rest. We'll go through the rest of the grid on the formation lap, of course, but 28 laps for Yama to try and get ahead of that McLaren, but Joss starting on the front row, and with how consistent he's been over the past third of the season, well, the last third of the season, I should be saying, it's going to be a tough ask there for the Mexican.
Indeed, he needs to really have a very good start then and very good stint before the DRS is enabled. Of course, the DRS train, very normal to see here on Abu Dhabi. Of course, with this pace that is, well, this grid that tight, we saw how only a 10th can put you from P6 to P2. I think she just did that on qualifying. So now all these drivers choosing tires outside the top 10. Well, I think pretty obvious that we will see mediums. Almost everyone on mediums, I would say, outside the top 10.
Well, they've certainly provided some surprises in the past. We'll get everything set up now as Becky B will lead them away. And it's mediums for most of the back 10, but B-Man and Strifium both on the soft compound tires in 14th and 19th respectively. So they'll be looking to try and make some early positions, get that track position early on in the race on this opening couple of laps when the softs just have a lot more pace and a lot more grip compared to those medium tires. But there we go, the predicted pit stop strategy on your screen. A soft medium for our champion. But we've actually seen the one-stop work quite well, of course. Baba in America's Tier 2 taking the championship with that one stop. Orchestrated beautifully. Just went a little bit longer on the soft compound tires and was able to manage that set of rubber and also manage the mediums towards the end of the race. And was able to keep that gap away from the Duke Kaboom to steal that title from 3rd place in the standings heading into that event. Like we said, we'll go through the rest of this grid on, well, this is the formation lap, halfway through it now. So the back 10 are as follows. Phoenix on the mediums for the Renault squad, and then Cherry splitting the two Renaults in 12th for the Haas. 13th Cosquito in the second Renault car with B-Man on the softs in the AlphaTauri in 14th. Will Gibson 15th, Holt 16th, Rhapsody in 17th. So he's going to be looking to make some positions very swiftly. Captain Minor in 18th, Strifium in 19th, and Gabox rounds out the final 20. Looks like Strifium had an issue as well.
I think Strifium was probably putting AI there to change some settings. It seems like, because he was really going slow on that first DRS zone. But yep, both drivers there on the last row going slow, so we'll have to wait a little bit till they go to the line. Of course, these drivers won't be losing that much. Well, I think they won't lose any heat on the tires. and so well, it will be just a little bit of weight. And yet, talking about strategy, we have always talked about how the two-stop strategy can be faster on pure pace, but the traffic is really, really difficult to manage here on Abu Dhabi. And as a Spaniard, if you can see the 2010 championship, you will know. So now, Mikau, time to the show.
Yes, unfortunate there with Fernando Alonso losing out to Sebastian Vettel in that title decider back over a decade ago now. But we have the lights on in Abu Dhabi. It is 3, 4, 5 red lights. For one final time this season, the lights are out, and it's go, go, go. Looks like Becky B getting off to a pretty decent start, but Chris now looking around the outside of Sejos into turn 1. And let's see if he can find the gap there. Sejos really squeezing him there, as well as the other racing point of McLaren of Maxime Biam and Angel. And the Malik is off. Both him and Maxime Biam have had an off in turn 2 and 3. But just a local yellow at the moment. Maxi Big gotten that car going. But for the top 3 now, looking all nice and clean so far. Now Fritzen and Yama. Yama up 1 spot, of course. Now Zamas up 1 as well. Karma, they're still in 7th. BTFU in 8th. Rhapsody that becomes the lead medium runner from 17th on the grid. What a start the Brazilian has had. We'll have the position changes now on your screen now.
Oh, he's really close with BTFU there on the breaking point of turn 8. Now ahead. Yeah, fully ahead. No, still BTFU there trying to maximize the stint.
Oh, a slide. A slide there for BTFU, and he's going to lose position. Maybe not to both of them, but it might actually be to both Renaults. It is going to be both Renaults getting past the AlphaTauri. BTFU now down into 11th place. But Rhapsody, what a start there from the Brazilian. He's up 9 places. We haven't even entered the final sector now. Like, just going through it now, Beto.
Wow, how much exchange we have seen now. All these top 5 very, very close. Zamos falling a little bit after contact, I think, on the start with Carmeleson. I don't think he has damage on that front wing, but still keeping that pace. The DRS still alive. Of course, we have it on lap 3. I'm still on that one. Oh, there's a lot of action there. Maxime and Striffing. I think they were going almost side by side. Now Striffing on 17th place, gaining 2. Maxime and Malik having a collision, dropping into 20.
Yes, Becky B set the fastest lap and will retain lead of this race. 7.5 tenths between himself and Sejos, but Sejos has not only Chris but Fritzen as well for company, and Yama has done well to stay with this train. This is what he needs. He's up 1 place, he's gotten past Zamas, but he needs to do a whole lot more there. Predict this pit stop strategy for Rhapsody there on your screen. 2 mediums and 1 set of softs for a final sprint to the end as they make their way through the chicane of turns 5 and 6, which won't exist come the end of the year for the real-life Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. The plans there getting revealed for the circuit changes. We're now right on board with the man of the hour, the Brazilian, who's up 9 places. He chases down Karma, and we'll hope to see. Well, I hope personally, but that he is able to keep it clean for the remaining 27 laps, because he has a history to get off to his great starts, but then seem to throw it all away in one impatient move. And well, speaking of impatience, well, patience, there we go. B-Man right on the back of Gabox as well in the fight for 13th place. The Alfa Romeos and the AlphaTauri having a scrap at it for the the first positions outside of the points, but Becky B at the front of things, starting to pull away nicely. 9 tenths is the gap, and if C just loses DRS to Becky B, that could be bad news for the McLaren.
Oh yeah, indeed. Jesus really needs to push there to keep it, and well, they're starting there to lose the train at, I think, Zamos, Yama as well now, pushing that battery. He was actually out of deployment there in the main straight, so we'll have to see how he managed that battery. He gained a place on the start against Zamos, and now catching Fritzen.
Yeah, Fritzen just holding nice and sturdy there. Actually, Cedar setting a purple sector 1, so he knows that it's important that he has this DRS, and he has gotten that gap within the second at the detection point. Becky B only just able to break it away, getting a better traction out of the hairpin of turn 7.
No battery for Sejos. No battery already, is below 10. Chris can see that, and Chris with almost, well, half of the battery to display with, I think he can make a move, but Sejos still on DRS, it would seem, so very difficult. Well, he's pushing.
Yeah, Chris is going to go for it. Looks towards the left-hand side. We've seen this move work a couple of times before. Chris, a little bit later on the brakes, locks that front left slightly, has to leave the room, and there he goes. The Racing Point is now up into second place and is now free to chase down the running Williams of Becky B. 1.1 seconds is now the gap, and he's already gotten that down to just over 1 second as they make their way into turn 17. CEST is now going to come under threat from Fritzen as well. And since he pushed so hard on the opening 2 laps, he's got no battery left in it, like you were saying, so he's going to have a whole world of hurt if he wants to be able to stay in front of all these guys.
Not only that, but Chris crucially stayed on DRS. It seems at the moment setting the fastest lap as well. I thought with the ditch here of Sector 3, it would have been falling a little bit because the gap was 1.1, 3 cents he has gained to Becky on that Sector 3, and now pushing on Sector 1 because he needs to keep it, and I think he will, unless he does a mistake on the chicane of 5 and 6. Fritz are now very close on Caesar, and I think he can try it. He can see how Caesar is blinking, low on energy, below 10%, and Yamamoto as well, really close to probably even make a double into Caesar, and it's very important to Yama that keeping that ERS stable and in a good shape right now. Fritzen pushing that battery.
Well, there he goes. Look at the speed that the Mercedes has got. DRS doesn't matter for CEST. Looks like Fritzen looking to the right-hand side. Much later on the brakes than the McLaren behind. And it looks like he might just get that DRS yet again. So Fritzen now up into third place. Has the battery to try and maintain that gap to CEST. And now Yama can see his rival in that championship. Looks to the left-hand side. Later on the brakes, he goes for the dive. CEST has to leave in the room. They're tagging wheels. A little bit of contact there between the two. And CEST getting all out of shape. Now Zamis on the inside of turn 14. He can't quite make the move stick. But CEST has now lost 2 positions in the space of 2 straights. And, well, that is the last thing that the McLaren needed, because now Yama has free reign to push and get away from this McLaren.
Imam pushing Gabox. He's on the softs. He's trying to push there to gain that place. Not able to do it now, but yeah, Yama needs to push because he needs to stay on that DRS right now. Really dancing on that zone between 9/10 and 1 second. Fritzen having a snap there on the last corner of the track. Right now, Carmelson as well pushing there to try to catch there with the train. Zamos pushing as well as CEST on battery, and they're both suffering a little bit. Yama, oof, it's very close.
It's so
on that
close
range.
to that 1 second. So close. Just having a look back quickly at the battle for 13th place. Beerman trying to chase down Gabox. Again, another driver who's used up a lot of battery. Gabox sitting about 40%, Beerman on 10. So a difference of strategy with the battery deployment. And it looks like Rhapsody, well, he's got enough battery. He's going to look up and eye up his next target. Karma going defensive to the left-hand side. Rhapsody looks for it as Zamis makes a move on CEST in front of them as well. Rhapsody looking for the switchback. Karma goes a little bit deep into turn 8, but he manages to hold on. Does he have the DRS to defend once again? Yes, he does. Rhapsody, he doesn't have the battery to attack now. CEST on the counter-attack through into turn number 11, and CEST has gotten back past the Ferrari into turn 11. And, well, that is exactly what the McLaren needs. He needs to keep CEST, well, CEST needs to keep Yama right in his sights, and he can't afford to let him get away. Captain Minor and Striffium having a bit of exchange as well into turn 11. Striffium look for the switchback through turn 12 and 13. Can't quite find it on those soft compound tyres. But Captain Minor losing a little bit of speed. But just look at the exit there for the Red Bull compared to the Ferrari. Striffium giving it everything that he's got to try and make a move. Very close to the back of that Red Bull into turn 17, Vito.
Yeah, very close. Skid as well on Rhapsody on sector 3, not being able to overtake, of course, on that sector. Really difficult. Really need a mistake from the car in front. Just look at that strain, everyone. Between the DRS range, except Yama, who lost it by, I think, 20 thousandths, so 200, I think. So very unlucky for him. Now he's dropped 7/10 from that DRS window, and CEST as well with that battle with Zavon and Carmelson. He has dropped a little bit. Rhapsody right now trying to push because it seems like the mediums are getting faster.
Yeah, the mediums are certainly looking like they're getting a little bit faster. We saw the grip that Captain Minor had on Striffium a few moments ago. DRS, of course, for all of these drivers, all the way up to CEST. Zamis is low on battery as well, so CEST doesn't have to worry about an attack into this corner. But CEST getting a little bit under pressure there, locking that front left into turn number 8. All these guys so close going through the chicane. But Yama is starting to pull away slightly. 1.5 seconds is now the gap. Zamus, he has a little look. Closes up on the McLaren, but isn't quite close enough to make that lunge. Neither is Karma or Rhapsody or Casquito or Phoenix as well. So this train extends all the way down towards the top, well, the 10th position. All the point scorers within that DRS train now.
On the outside of 11. Oh, that's a beautiful move. Captain is still on the inside, but they're still side by side. Look at this, Mikhail.
Yes, Triffium running a little bit wide at the exit of 14, but he has gotten that move done. So Triffium getting the better of Captain Miner on this occasion. There's also quite a train following behind Gabox as well. Gabox is starting to really struggle at the moment on those medium tyres. Looks like Melik as well getting past Will Gibson for the wooden spoon. Well, handing the wooden spoon to Will. The V-Man looking at the rear wing of Gabox. Says Yama. Yama's had an issue. Yama's had an issue. Sejos has passed him.
Oh yeah, the times on the rears are not good right now because I think he had a slide out of turn 3. And that cost him, well, 2 seconds, and Caesar's overtaking him, but he will try to do it again. He's pushing that ERS, staying now behind on this back straight, and I think Caesar wants actually Yama to overtake, so he can try it later, but now Yama squeezing a little bit. Oh, it's Zamos pushing. Actually, I think there was contact between Zamos and Caesar. We'll see if he has damage. I think Zamos probably outbraking himself, and he has damage probably on that front wing. We have to see.
Oh, here goes Karma. Karma on the Ferrari. They're wheel to wheel going into turn 11. Zamus later on the brakes. Oh, and he almost collects Sejos. He almost took out Sejos there. But Zamus is able to avoid. Karma gets past the Ferrari. But that could have been very bad news for all the McLaren fans in the chat. Ho ho ho, that could have been nasty.
Oh yeah, almost 2 times. Zamos a little bit. I don't think he's having in mind that the grip is not like it was on the beginning of the race. Now struggling a little bit on braking as yourself, and Carmelis on getting that that place for P6. We'll see. Oh, Caesars going into the pits. That's a 2-stop surely.
Yes, Sejos into the pits at the end of lap 7 as we start lap 8 now. Casquito getting past his teammate for the evening, but yes, Sejos into the pits, BTFU as well. So they're the first of the pitters. It looks like they might have some clean air, and there's a virtual safety car. Captain Miner is out of this race, and it looks like he's gotten it at the entry of turn 21.
I think he went wide because he had a penalty of 3 seconds just when he cut it or extended the track limit, so I guess he went wide.
Oh, what he's blocking the pit lane. Oh,
Yep,
that looks like a very nasty incident there for Captain Miner. You can see that front right is completely blown. So, one Red Bull car left in this one. Virtual safety car. And that could have worked wonders for both Sejos and BTFU because they've gained a little bit of time as that virtual safety car did get called while they were in the pit lane. So this could be pretty good, but it looks like they're all slowing it down and the virtual safety car is about to end. We'll see if there are any drive-through penalties. We saw a couple of them handed out in America's Tier 2. But there we go, DRS now with no drive-throughs to speak of. Chris and Fritzen doing well to stay with Becky B, our race leader. This front 3 have done battle for quite some time now. It was, I do believe, Rashid, aka Kimlo, in Brazil fighting with Becky B. But it's now Chris and Fritzen, the 2 other full-time drivers, both Mercedes, all 3 actually Mercedes-powered teams for the 2020 season in this top 3. Looks like Chris getting a bit out of shape into turn 20. Is it quite enough?
Zamos into the pits, he goes. So he'll be, I don't know if committing to that system, but now Caesar surely had that undercut versus Zamos, so we'll see what he can do. Chris dropping out of DRS. Chris has disconnected, I think.
It looks like it. He's got that red Expedito. Oh! And Fritzen has to take avoiding action on the AI. He wasn't expecting the AI to brake so early. There we go. Fritzen is now past the racing point. I do think Chris has had some kind of connection issue, which is what you hate to see. But this could be good news for Yama. There we go. Chris,
that's really sad
out
to
of
see
the
because
session. Don't know if you can get Chris an invite, Bido.
I don't have it in translate, so sadly I can't.
We'll see if we can get someone to sort that out. I don't know if there's going to be any moves happening. I'll invite him myself. Looks like Karma getting right on the back of Yama as well, but they head into the final sector. Meanwhile, Cherry as well. Looking a massive dive from the Spaniard into turn 11. There's contact between himself and Gabox, and well, they both live to see another day. But that could have been very, very spicy indeed.
Well, now Chris has joined. He has lost almost 4 or 5 seconds there, sadly, but still, well, just losing one place, and now his teammate.
His teammate Malek having an issue at the exit of turn 9. And we saw, I do believe it was Will in America's Tier 2 struggle there as well.
Has pitted. The AI of Chris has pitted, I think, as Becky B as well pit for the mediums. We'll see if he can bring it to the end. Will be probably global. Now, at least the AI is pitting, I think, for mediums.
Well, I think this is the pit winner that Baba had for his race win. So if they're able to manage these tyres, they should pretty comfortably go to the end of the race. I do believe Neon said that Baba's tyres were around 50 to 60% towards the end of things, but CEST has gotten the undercut in our race leader.
And Will Gibson has spun. Out of turn 19, Melek really close there to have contact. Will has damage, and now Chris has rejoined.
Yes, Chris now in to the session once more. Lovely to see. But yeah, that's big that our race set has actually got an undercut from CEST. Even though CEST presumably is on that two-stop strategy, this could be good. This could be good for the McLaren driver.
Rhapsody and Carmeless side by side there on turn 11. Yama well protecting that place. Now Carmeless on the inside of 14. Rhapsody with better grip there on the outside, and he takes that P3. Crucially putting a car between him and Casquito, the other medium runner who tried on 17. It doesn't seem like Karma still holding that place, and at the moment Rhapsody gaining on the Argentinian. And well, now trying to push for Yama, who I think will be pitting on this lap. We'll see Fritzen as well jumping into the pits. Yama slowly as well. No grip on those subs, and Rhapsody now seems like he will be leading this race. And for a moment we can see their screenshot 1-2 for Mercedes.
Yes, I'm sure you'll be very, very happy about that, and all the Mercedes fans in the chat, as well as we're getting our gaps now back after Chris has rejoined the session. A known bug with the game, hopefully fixed for the next iteration. But there we go, Zamas fastest up of the race so far, 1 minute 36.700 for the Ferrari. Using those fresh mediums to good effect, trying to get as much performance out of them as he can.
Well, he undercutted Yama and Chris, so that's a very good undercut. Caramelesson as well got undercutted by Zamas. Of course, Chris having those connection or game issues. Sadly, lost around 5, 6, 7 seconds, I would say. There, around that, I'm not sure, but now Fritzen crucially being ahead of Zamas.
There we go, Cheery. Massive dive into turn 8, but Gabox trying to hold it around the outside. The Alfa Romeo now going wheel to wheel. There's contact between the two. Can Becky B get both of them in one fell swoop? He gets one. DRS gets a little bit of a half a slipstream there from Cheery. He's going to make it past both of them here. Or does he?
Yes.
Gabox a little bit earlier on the brakes. CEST getting let through as well from Cheery. And it looks like CEST, he has to get past Gabox now as well. Can he make the move stick? Look at the exit from the McLaren. He gets blocked off to the inside. Does he go for the dive into 17? He has a look. He goes for it. He goes for it and he pulls it up. Wow.
Wow, Gabox really knew, I think. McLaren was going there on his mirrors, and well, CEST is diving there. Very good spot to do it. And if you have, of course, that inside gain, I think you can have it now. Gabox going to the pits. I think he has, well, I don't know why he's going to pits. Probably 2-stop for him.
Yeah, it might be a 2-stop for them. There he goes into the pit lane. Chris setting the fastest lap, making amends for the connection issues that he had earlier. Fritzen, literally about pushing Cherry through the first sector to the inside for turn 5. Later on the brakes, and there he goes, easily past the Spaniard. The Indian now up into 7th place. BTFU now next to overtake the Haas on those medium compound tires. DRS as well, Cheery will have DRS as well. But Cheery out of battery now, so I think BT is just going to bide his time and wait for the straight into turn 11. Yes, he stays nice and behind. That
Raption Casquito set by 7 turn 11. Oh, Casquito's just ahead with the DRS and that battery. Well, he just managed the battery perfectly. Now Williams having a penalty. BTFU and Cheery side by side as BT goes around the outside now. Braking just fully ahead of that Haas driver who still has to be there on, we're lap 11, lap 12 actually. On, of course, he still has to beat, though I think those mediums to soft strategy work.
Yeah, I think he might actually have the capability of going for that one stop if he makes it all the way to around lap 18. Phoenix in the top 3 gets a 3-second time penalty. The second driver to pick up a penalty for multiple warnings. Karma all over the back of Yama, and Zamis all over the back of Cheery now. So Cheery falling like a stone on those aging medium compound tires. Zamis going to have a look at a turn 1. He's pushing. He's looking for it to the outside, but Cheery closes the door. Zamis will have to wait for another opportunity. It might come quicker than he was expecting. Literally pushing Cheery through turn 2, but he's got Chris right on his rear as well. Has to defend from the racing point. Chris, massive dive into turn 5 now. The two going side by side, banging wheels. Off at turn 6 goes the racing point. Inside for turn 7 through the hairpin. Millet going for another spin at the exit of turn 20. And now Zamis has been passed by the racing point. Now Chris is pushing all that he can. Just look at the speed there for that racing point. Clearly, easily past Cheery. Zamis as well. Past the Spaniard. Slots himself between the two.
Everyone in the single digit on battery, they're pushing everything they can. Chris now crucially ahead of Zamis on the same strategy, it seems. Yes, indeed. So now Chris needs to push there to catch BTFU plus 2 lap older mediums.
Well, looks like Cheery might come into the battle between Karma and Yama for what is 11th place on track. But I do believe, I don't know, I have no idea what net position this is, I'll be honest. But
might be around 3rd, 4th, probably 5th, 6th, I would say. If CEST and, of course, CEST and BTFU going for that stuff, but I don't know at this point if they will stay there out with those mediums to the end, sorry, or if they will try to beat for another subs at the end of that.
Karma had a look into turn 1, but Yama just was a bit too far ahead. Now Karma, he's got the run out of turn 1. Look at this, pushing the Williams, the Safina Williams sponsored car through the first sector. Yama looking up the inside of Cheery, but Cheery just holding the Williams up and just hoping that his teammate can find a move. Looks like Cheery going wide into the hairpin is going to let both of them through. Now the exit now for Karma. Look at this. A drag race now between the two. ERS, DRS, Slipstream to the left-hand side. Which car has the greater straight line speed? It looks like Yama on this occasion, but Karma will have that DRS into turn 11, setting himself up. Slow in, fast out for the Haas car. Looks like he's got a much better run than the Williams. Just look at that. This should be an easy move into turn 11, Beto.
Yes, indeed, Carmelos there on the outside. No battery for Yama, unless he dives. Yes, he will dive now. It's side by side. Carmelos, oh, I don't know how he found the space, but now Yama ahead, crucially, and there is on P11. But Karma is not done.
Could we see what C just did? And inside for 17? No, not quite. Yama covers that off as a tap. A little bit of a push there from Karma into the back of that Williams car. And they are losing time.
Bridgen tried it on the inside of Souls. Becky did it on lap before as well. Another exchange between Rapture and Casquito on turn 11 on lap 14. So
whoa! Holtz pushing Fritzen wide, and that's going to let Sejos get past both of them. A little mistake from Sejos in the wheel-to-wheel combat has cost Fritzen a net position. And that could be bad news, especially if you are a Williams or Mercedes fan. So there we go, but looks like Fritzen, he does have the battery in reserve to get past. Striffium joins the penalty club down there in 17th place. He'll pick up his first 3 seconds of the evening. But Fritzen now DRS, 4/10 is the gap, not using any battery, doesn't need to. He's gaining on the McLaren, not quite enough to make a move into turn 8, but I think he's setting it up for turn 11. Has a little look into turn 8. Chris getting past BTFU behind them as well. So a little, well, a lot of moves now starting to happen on this track. Karma as well, very close to the back of Yama once again. Rhapsody falling to Casquito. Fritzen getting past Sejos as well into turn 11. BT can't find the answer. Can Karma find the answer? No, not quite. He's a bit too far back on this occasion, Bido.
Yeah, not able to have a good traction out of turn 9. So Karma will sit behind Yamamoto, and this is like
Gabox.
the has the strength and speed he does.
Gabox, battle for 15th place. Getting past Maxime B. Maxime B fights back. He goes a little bit later on the brakes, but it's not quite enough. Can he find the switch back into 14? No, not quite. Can he replicate what his teammate did a couple of laps ago? Into turn 17, it doesn't look like he's quite close enough as Holt makes his way into the pit lane. Off of those 14-lap-old medium tyres, looking to go onto a set of softs to maybe go to the end of the race, but who knows?
I think so, yeah, I think that's the plan, but it's a big undercut treating the same as well. Oof, but it will be 13 laps of softs. I'm not sure about that, to be honest. It's very, very dangerous. I would say it's very risky. BTFU having a 30-second time penalty can cost a couple of places there.
Becky B getting past, having a drag race with Phoenix down at the back, well, one of the straights here. And there we go. Inside line, Becky B much later on the brakes. And he gets past now. Rhapsody, Casquito having a bit of a duel. Casquito has that DRS once more. Yellow flag. Will Gibson's around at the exit of turn 17. But Casquito, he let Rhapsody back through, so he was behind at the detection point, but can't quite find the speed to close up. And now Becky B, our net race leader, well, he's about to make it the actual race leader here on lap 16.
Yama Carmelesson side by side on the chicane. Carmelesson will be just ahead, but he goes wide on the SL13.
Oh, it's contact, Yama! Oh, he catches it. And they have a safety car. Melek has crashed. And now everyone has to come in for softs. Like, surely. Everyone does.
Well, oh, that's a safety car. I thought it was Casquito. Yeah, everyone has to go to softs, surely.
And there we go.
Everyone.
Rhapsody,
Actually,
the first
everyone.
one. There he goes. Rhapsody has thrusted himself into the lead of things from 17th on the grid. Bruno's we're going to have to double stack, as will the Mercedes. This is not going to be great. This is wonderful for Sejos, though. So now he doesn't have to worry about it. Yama, what's he going to do? Yes, everyone coming in on this pit lane. Look how busy this pit lane is at the moment, Bido. Absolutely insane.
All speeded for softs. He doesn't need to pit. We'll see where he rejoins. But I think he can probably gain a couple of places as well. Now on P14, I think he was actually on net P14. So we'll see where he lands. At the moment, Gabox not pitting with those new mediums. He thinks those mediums can be on a good shape there after the softs really have.
Chris is going for mediums.
Well, I don't blame him, but it's still very, very difficult. It will be very difficult to keep the pace against those softs.
Okay, so here's how things are looking for what will be around an 8-lap sprint to the end. Rhapsody has absolutely stolen this race lead at the moment now. But he is on fresh softs in the lead of things. Casquito right behind him. Becky B, the champion of this division, in 3rd place. Sejos in 4th. Chris in 5th on fresh medium tyres. Fritzen in 6th. Gabox on slightly worn medium tyres. He was hoping to take him to the end of this race. He's gained quite a few positions there, but he has Phoenix, Holtz, and BTFU to round out the top 10 for this race to restart. Karma in 11th place on fresh softs. Zamas in 12th on fresh mediums. Yama in 13th. Shuri in 14th. Maxime B 15th. B-Man in 16th. Striffium in 17th. And Will Gibson a long way away from the pack. He is our last runner on circuit at the moment in 18th place.
Yeah, Will Gibson actually, he was on the box at the same time as safety car was called out. So, well, he needs to, well, it's very good for him. Because he, well, but the thing is he pitted for mediums, I think, right? He's on mediums. So, at the same time, Of course, he was not aware that a safety car was gonna be on that same time that he was changing tires, so a little bit unfortunate. But at the same time, having options there, probably I don't know if for points, but at least to race against others because he was doing lap times on his own. Let's say because he had a couple of mistakes there. As Chris, I thought for a moment he was going to the pits, but no.
No way he'd pit now.
I mean, no, you will be returning behind Strifium, and that's not good. Yamamoto having, I think it's teleport behind Shiri.
Yeah, a little bit of an issue there between Yama and Shiri. Looks like Yama has gotten that, well, held on to that 13th place, I think. And there we go, B-Man into the pits, getting on a fresh set of soft compound tyres. Don't know why Shrifium didn't do the same, to be honest.
Yeah, I think that's a mistake as well. Now, it will be 10 laps sprint, I would say, to the end, starting the green flag, of course, on lap 19, including that one, will be 10 laps. So the stops can go to the end, but you have to know how much wear you will have at that, like those 3 last laps, the cliff really hitting there on the last stage of that stint. And of course, I think we will be noticing when Chris starts to, well, being able to push or gain position against subs, the drivers with the subs.
Well, maybe that's what Chris is going for. You know, he knows that the softs have a large drop-off in that latter stage of the race, so if he's able to use the mediums to stay in that DRS train, he will have a lot more grip at the end of this race and hopefully make up some easy positions. That can only be that's the only plan I see feasibly that Chris would go for, because otherwise you're losing pace. He's already fulfilled the 2 tire compound rule. He'd already gone from softs to mediums prior to this, so he had a free tire choice and to not be disqualified. But there we go, Will Gibson now making his way into turn 11. You can see that blue dot on the minimap.
Also, the safety car is still not on this lap. Well, I think it will be on this lap, but it will be called late. We'll see.
Yeah, it really all depends on how quickly Will catches up. I actually don't think it will be coming in this lap.
No, he's not pushing. He's not pushing. I think on purpose. He wants another lap there with the safety car probably to pit now. I mean, I would do the same if I'm him.
Yeah, I would do the same if I was Will. I'd do the same if I was Strifium. I'd pit for fresh softs because now they'll easily make it to the end of this race. One driver going into the pit lane. Who's that?
Gavox.
That's Gavox.
Well, that's not the best moment, I guess. He didn't go to the pits at that time because he was on fresh mediums, and Souls was just gonna pit for new softs. Souls stayed out because he pitted the lap before of the safety car. But Gavox, then I really don't know why he didn't pit. Now he lost, I think, 10 places doing that strategy. Of course, on the ideal compound, 2 laps fresher, I think, or at least 1. And well, he will try the best. Now, 1 more lap under safety car, and this is not good at all for Chris, Zamos, or Strifium.
Yeah, I'm still a bit surprised why Strifium didn't pit, because you'd only be losing 2 grid positions. Gavox pitting is also quite a big surprise to me because he's lost 10. And I don't know if he's going to really be able to make those positions up in the 9 laps that we will have remaining in this race once the safety car comes in. But there we go, all the drivers, you can see them weaving down that main straight. Or one of the 2 back straights. Basically is the main straight, to be honest.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, the run into turn 1 isn't super long. We've seen moves work there in the past, but it isn't quite long enough. There we go. Rhapsody leading them away. Safety car will be coming in this lap. And there we go. There's the call from race control. The lights flash out. So now Rhapsody, from 17th on the grid, Beto, is in the lead of things. And he is going to lead them away for the safety car restart.
I'm scared. I really want this to finish good. Of course, Casquito as well standing on the back. I think he started P11, P13. But yeah, you said in the beginning, Rhapsody really normally going for some aggressive moves, but we hope he
doesn't need to now.
He doesn't need to, but probably to defend. So he said he doesn't have pace here. He probably don't qualifying, but on strategy, he's nailing it at the moment, so he will be waiting there for the safety car to go into the pits. So then he will be able to push without any thing that will be against him. So he needs to catch Casquito slip.
Well, there we go. We'll have a look at the rear of Rhapsody. The safety car now into the pit lane, and he's called it. Has he? No, not quite. He speeds up a little bit. CEST is round! CEST is round! CEST has lost it at turn 20 on the safety car restart. He's falling down to 17th. What has happened?
Wow, Yama needs to score. He needs to be on P8. He needs to be on P8 to win against CEST. I don't know in terms of wins how much is that on side, but now BTF is trying on holds for P7. He will try it on the inside of chicane of 5 and 6. No, Tolls still holding there. Carmelesson as well. Samuels just behind both of them. BTF trying to avoid a little bit the back end of that Alfa Romeo, and now Carmelesson compromising the exit Samuels as well, and now between Beeman and Strifium, soft against mediums. Strifium struggling a little bit there as well. Now Gabbo's pushing behind that Ferrari, and wow, what a restart.
Yeah, so now the ball is in Yama's court. He needs what BTFU is sitting in right now to win, well, to get that runner-up spot. It is 8th place, and we do have drivers with 3-second time penalties as well, which will make Yama's job just that much easier. But he needs to still make the moves in these last 9 laps of the race. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a fight on our hands as Holt and BTFU going side by side through the technical triple chicane, and Holt's getting the better of that one. Now Karma looking at the left-hand side of BTFU. Can't quite find the move doing there. Zamas and Yama right close on the back of them as well. But what heartbreak for the McLaren fans in this chat as Strifium now looking on the inside of 17 on Will. Isn't quite going to be enough. No, not quite. Will just holding on. And he'll hold on to that 16th place for another day.
I mean, we have Phoenix with 3 seconds, BTF with 3 seconds, and Chris with 5 seconds in game zeros. Thought that was the punishment for that incident. I don't know. Someone saying there that probably was contact between Chris and CEST. So we'll have to see now. BTF is really pushing there. So yeah, but talking about penalties, Yama probably can be saved and gain at least a couple of places there that will keep him just ahead. Strifium having a spin.
Flag, it's Strifium around there at turn 3. Karma looking up the inside of 7 on the exit. Can't quite find anything doing there.
Casquito for the lead.
There we go, Casquito side by side with Rhapsody into turn 8. He's gotten that move done. We'll see them now come out through the exit of turn 9. Does he have the speed to hold on to that lead? Yes, he does for the little bit, for the moment. But Rhapsody, he is not going to let that one go easy, I can tell you that much.
For sure. Now BTF really close on Tolls. Still not able to do that move, and he's losing a lot of time. 3 seconds already lost here with Phoenix, Mateo, and I think the gap is increasing every corner now as well. The gap that is increasing is Rhapsody, against Casquito. I think Rhapsody had a bad run out of turn 8 because he had the overtake button on, so he was not able to put the throttle down easily. So he was cautious there to not have any spin. Now that he was on a podium, now BTF is really pushing.
We can just see how close to the back these guys are on Holtz. And Holtz is going to be a sitting duck on the back straight, the 2 back straights without that DRS assistance. DRS now re-enabled on lap 22 of 28. Yama needs 8th place. He needs 8th place to steal away that 2nd position. And that is where, well, it's within his sights. He can see that 8th place. Right now he can see all the cars. But as they make their way through the chicane, how many positions is Holtz going to lose on this first DRS zone? He's been holding up these guys for the best part of 2 laps now. 3.8 seconds is the gap between himself and Phoenix in 6th ahead of him. But BT, he's been pushed a bit prematurely. He's used up all of his battery. Now to the inside goes the Alpha Tauri. Holtz a little bit later on the brakes. Now Karma trying to find his way through. Tries to get the switch back, and he gets blocked there by Holtz hopping the curb. But Holtz, he has that DRS. He's going to be fighting. It's a drag race between the 2 Holtz. He can't. He's trying to hold on to that 8th place as best he can. Karma can't quite find the way through. Yama being patient as well.
So that was just on the back of Yama.
Oh, he goes for it! He goes for it. He bangs wheels with Yama. Oh my goodness, things are really starting to spice up now. Yama needs to be careful. Another little love tap there. Churi looking around the outside as well. Later on the brakes than the Ferrari in front of him. Can he find the move into this section of the track? No, not quite. But it looks like Karma right on the back of Holt. Yama still within that DRS range, but he's running out of resources to make these moves into the last few laps of this race.
Yeah, and Churi right now, I think he might be able to gain a point. That was with penalties. BTFU with penalties as well, so it all depends on Tol's Carmelison battle and how much BTFU can win out of that. But right now he's winning every corner. Tol's, it seems like he was the core of the battle, and right now holding Carmelison, Yama, and well, Zamos with damage struggling a little bit. And who was that? It's Maxime almost there on the inside of Chiri. He was waiting a little bit and he's patient there to not do the move, but he's trying the hairpin.
Oh, looks like Maxime beats Chiri. Very, very close together. Karma now, he's going to make his move past the Alfa Romeo of Holtz. Holtz doing wonderful things for BTFU in front of him. 1.2 seconds now is the gap between Karma and BT. Of course, BT does have that 3-second time penalty, which will drop him down a couple of positions. But it's now Yama's turn to get past the Alfa Romeo. And Holtz, he's shown greater straight line speed in that Alfa Romeo. Has a little look to the outside of Karma as well. Yama locking all fours as well.
I was starting to but Yama didn't have any strength and speed. He had 0% battery. And oof, that's really hurting his pace on the straights. Fritzen having a 3-second time penalty there for multiple warnings. So that's gonna, well, separate him from the podium, it seems.
Oh, there we go. Yama right on the back of Holtz. I don't know who wins if it goes down to countback, because 8th is 4 points, so they would actually be tied.
Yeah.
I think Yama wins on countback. So there he goes. He has 2 cars sitting between himself and that runner-up spot. If he can stay within that 3 seconds of BT, that'll be easy as you like.
I think he only needs to overtake Tolls and then keep that pace between him and BTFU. It seems like he might be still on range to win that place on penalties for the AlphaTauri. Yama really close on that hairpin, almost trying the move. Doesn't seem like he will find it there. Still on traction. It seems like Tolls is gaining time, and Yama using that battery. I don't know if this is the best thing he can do, but well, he's surely utilizing that one, as Chris is, I think, starting to keep the pace there or win against Ricky.
Massive lock up there for Yama on the front left into turn 8, but he's gotten the move done. He's in 9th place. 2.3 seconds of the gap now as Karma getting past BTFU for 7th place on the track. BT very close as a tap there. Karma loses the rear a little bit, has to take the escape road. He's taking a 3-second time penalty as well for that.
So Yama now on P7.
Yeah, Yama P7 as things stand at the moment. The stewards might have to take a little bit of a look at that, see if there was any advantage gained from Karma cutting that section of circuit. But yeah, lap 24 of 28, 6 laps on these soft compound tires. Of course, we did have a couple on the safety car, but it is around. Oh, Yama, don't do that, please. Don't do that, mate. Yama losing the rear out of turn 19, almost throwing away all the hard work and the fortunes that have come his way this evening. He just needs to hold on to that 3-second gap. He's got the pace advantage over BTFU at the moment, it would seem. And that 2nd place is his. Meanwhile, Chris, his mediums are coming into their own now better. He could actually take the lead of things on track.
Yeah, let's on track. We'll see if that penalty he can appeal. We don't know still if he can appeal that. But of course, a lot of things that will be revealed. But now, of course, focusing on track, Chris, well, as you said, those mediums starting to come alive at this moment. And well, really close.
Oh, he's a tap! It's a tap between himself and Becky B. Unsettles Becky B slightly now. Becky B, because of that, he won't have DRS. Down at this 2nd DRS zone. Chris to the right-hand side, taking the racing line. Fritzen trying to get on it as well. It's a 3-way fight now for P4, well, P3 on track, the final podium place. Chris holds it around the outside and he gets that move done. Becky B tried to fight back, but it wasn't quite enough. And now Fritzen off track. Fenix. Uh-oh. Doesn't go
really
for
close
it.
As well. Oh, no, he doesn't. He's keeping it there. But Rhapsody now gaining time on Casquito, but he has to do it quickly because he has Chris behind him. They have both history, and he needs to put out a car between him and the Racing Point, who now is gaining a lot of time.
Yeah, just riding on board with Phoenix. As you can see, a lot of flashing red lights in front of him. Both the likes of Becky B and Fritzen very low on that energy store, that ERS system. But Chris as well, very low, sitting on 6%. Rhapsody on 29, however, going up to 30 in the braking zone of turn 5. So he is doing what he needs to secure this win.
I
Chris.
think he's waiting. We'll see now. Well, utilizing a little bit there on traction. Not enough to get that place. Fritzen as well utilizing, but everyone is in a single digit except Rhapsody and Casquito. Well, actually, Casquito is joining that club. So Rhapsody on advantage. He will try it on the inside. No, he's not trying there. Probably waiting for the exit of turn 9.
Well, let's see what he does. There's only 3 laps remaining, including the current lap. He's using it. He's using it. DRS. ERS. He flies by that runner, hitting Rhapsody into the lead of things. Well, with 3 laps to go, a little bit of a tap there between himself and Casquito. A lovely helicopter shot there. You can see Chris there in that Racing Point, eyeing him up. It gets very close between Casquito and Rhapsody. Through turn 4, seeing a little bit of a snap and a wobble as well for Casquito. Chris up the inside into 16. Hello, can he make the move? No, not quite.
Wow, was really close. What a good move for Casquito as well, defending that one. And this crucially for Rhapsody, Casquito having snap out of turn 19. Oh, this is very good.
Rhapsody, 3 seconds!
Oh.
Rhapsody has picked up a 3-second time penalty with 2 laps to go. No more safety cars in this race, and we have a just a flat-out brawl for this race win on track at the moment.
I mean, Becky can still get it. He needs Casquito to drop a little bit, and Becky to regain energy because he's low on battery. So his Fritz and everyone is low because they're pushing too much. Now 2 laps to go, lap 27 of 28. Now Becky having a snap there on turn 6, and Chris trying to do the switch back there.
Oh, there we go, Chris. He's using everything that's left in the tank. Casquito managing that battery as best he can. He now knows that Rhapsody has that 3-second time penalty. Chris, he's gaining no less than 2 tenths. Has a look to the inside. Oh, much later on the brakes, locks up. Going into turn 8. He has to cut the corner slightly. Casquito.
Fritzen has spun.
Fritzen is spun. He's in the infield now. Pretty difficult angle to see exactly what's happened. That's a very odd place to spin there. Now Yama, 8th place on track. But this is just amazing. You cannot script
Chris
this.
would try it. Ooh, no, never mind.
He might try again at the same place. Zamas then he passed Fritzen now into turn 11 for 9th place. Heartbreak for the Mercedes fans out there. B-Man and Gabox having a tussle as well. Oh, B-Man losing it there. Well, there we go. They are about to enter the final lap of things for the last time in MRL Americas division. And Casquito, 4 tenths the gap between himself and Rhapsody, but Rhapsody does have that 3-second time penalty.
I mean, if Casquito gets a penalty now on this lap, Becky wins it, seems.
Yeah, that is true. Casquito in win of things now on track. And, well, there he goes. Fritzen getting past Zamas into turn 1 on the final lap of this, and the Zamas actually disconnecting now. Very unfortunate to see. I think that will be him out of the points. Chris now past Casquito into the hairpin. Oh, sorry, we missed that one, ladies and gentlemen. But Chris, both of them will have DRS now. Chris showing the straight line speed. See just now, 3-second time penalty as well. Lots of time penalties all over this grid now as we go through down into the, well, one of the last overtaking opportunities for this race. Chris now. He's got it, DRS. Can he find it on Rhapsody? These two have come together before. He might go for it on track here. He goes for it round the outside of the Brazilian. Rhapsody defends to the inside, but it isn't going to quite be enough. Chris has to hold on for just 1 sector now. Rhapsody, Chris losing the rear.
Oh, he's going to try it. He was pushing overtake. I don't know if he's going to... No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Casquito. Oof. I don't know if there was contact with Chris losing the rear again. It seems like if it's finishing like this, Casquito needs to keep be clean on penalties. Still 2 corners to go, and it's very important to keep it. Now Casquito going a little bit wide. Nope, it's still clean. So Rhapsody will crossing first.
Well, there we go. Rhapsody crosses in first on track, but after the penalties, it is going to be Casquito taking the final race win of the season here in Abu Dhabi. Becky B in second place. Rhapsody will have to settle for third. Venix comes across the line in fourth. Karma in fifth. Chris in seventh, and Yama in seventh. So Yama does steal that runners-up spot away from C. Joss, and it is a Williams 1-2 in the drivers' standings. BTFU comes across the line in eighth. Fritzen, after that mistake, drops down at ninth, and Holtz will take the final point by just under a tenth of a second from Churi. Very, very unfortunate there for the Spaniard, but Holtz, he did well to take that 10th place and that final point for the final time this season. And C. Joss, well, another time penalty. He will be absolutely gutted with that result.
I mean, it was really, really intense. Casquito gaining his second race win. I think, yeah, after Silverstone.
Yeah, that's race win number 2 for the Argentinian.
I don't know if that means a Spanish interview, but I don't know about that. But yeah, Becky in second place, the leader of the championship, the winner of the championship, and Rhapsody, after starting in 17th place, he finishes on the podium. Of course, everything before penalties or everything that needs to be appealed, because I think Chris, after having the disconnection, lost some places, plus having a 5-second time penalty. I don't know if that will be keeping, if Stewards will be keeping that on his name. But Rhapsody, driver of the day, after a fantastic recovery, we can see there Casquito Benitez winning the last round of the season.
There we go. Renault driver making it his second win of the season. He won in Silverstone and he's won here in Abu Dhabi. Amazing, amazing result there for the team. Becky B in second place on that podium. One of the only other drivers to get penalty free, and Rhapsody, who won it on track, will have to settle for third place after that 3-second time penalty. But there we go. The final classifications as it stands. The Argentinians doing very well in this race. With Casquito in lead of things from 13th on the grid. Becky B upholstered it down one spot into second. Rhapsody from 17th up into third. A very, very nice effort there from the Brazilian. Fenix and Akama 4th and 5th for the Argentinians. Chris down to 6th after that 5-second time penalty. Yama in 7th. He's done what he needed to do, and he keeps that he retakes that runners-up spot in the Drivers' Championship for the final time this season. BTFU finishes out his season in 8th place. A very solid drive there from the AlphaTauri. Fritzen in 9th after a spin in the penultimate lap. And Holtz will taking the final point there for Alfa Romeo. Shuri in 11th, just missing out by less than 1/10 of a second ahead of Galbox, the Chilean, there in 12th for Alfa Romeo. Maxime B for the McLaren there in 13th. B-Man in 14th. Zamis in 15th for Ferrari. Will Gibson there reserving for Red Bull in 16th. C. Joss down to 17th with fastest lap at 1 minute 35.211. And Strifium there, the last of the finishers, with Angel, aka Malek, and Captain Minor unable to finish this race. But better, I've said it once, and I'll say it again. You cannot script this at all. You just cannot script a finale like this.
Indeed. Yama taking that P2 on the championship after, well, the incident last lap. I think it was between Fritz and Bauma, probably in lap 27, I don't know. But it seems like there was contact there between both of them. Yama taking, of course, avoiding action and gaining those places. He jumped into P7, I think. And that, of course, gave him second place on the standings.
Well, we'll see if we can get any interviews there. I do see Becky B and Yama in the cool down room. So hopefully we might see some of the other podium sitters, but I don't think so. At least they're not joining straight away. We'll use this opportunity to thank everyone for tuning in for the season. It has been absolutely amazing, a wild ride over the 22 races that I've had here, starting all the way back in January 19th to be exact, and we've come all the way to the 22nd of June to round off the 4th iteration of the Misfits Racing League. Of course, Season 5 will be coming on the new game F1 2021. And, well, exciting things await us, Bitter. Exciting things await. It looks like we have an interview from Rhapsody. And it doesn't look like Cosquito is in here either. But we will get a word from Becky B. Becky, second place today after all the penalties ahead. But just what was going through your mind when that safety car came out and you saw the work that you had to do for those final 9 laps, I think it was.
I honestly knew it was going to be really hard. I was happy with the position I was in, and I was basically just listening to our race engineer and Yama talking about the positions. We had Jack 5 in there engineering for us, hoping for Yama to move his way up and get to the place he needed to get P2. And I think he ended up getting it because I think he needed at least P8 to tie
Yes,
and P7
he
to.
ended 7th in that one.
Yep. So, I mean, all congratulations to him. And honestly, I didn't think I was going to be able to get back up, and I'm glad I was able to get to at least P2. But we'll see what happens with all the penalties and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm happy to get the P2, especially because I do not like that track. So I'm glad to at least get back to second place, and yeah.
Yeah, just now that the season has officially wrapped itself up, just what are your thoughts on this group of guys here? Like what highlights, lowlights, just how has the season been for you?
I definitely think some highlights for the season, at least for me, would be Monaco and some of those races, early in the season, when I was winning a lot. But that's definitely some of the highlights. But all the guys that we've had join the league and join this division have been amazing, and it's so great to see, how much we've grown just in the past few months. And I think it's really good to see for, the racing, for the spectators, for the drivers, and, just for MRL as a whole. It's great to see. And looking back, this was my first full season league racing in MRL, and I'm really happy to clinch the title and the constructors as well. And this is my first game league racing, and I'm excited to see what the next game holds for the league and for myself. And I think it was all in all a great year.
Well, congratulations once again on the second place and the championship, and we hope to see you back here in season 5.
Thank you.
Well, now we are going to be joined by our race winner, and we are going to have the Spanish interview. So,
Oh no.
Vitor. So, well, congratulations, Casquito, on your race win. And, well, Vitor, take it away and translate after each question if you could. That would be nice.
I mean, I think I talked to him, and I think he can probably talk in English, so it shouldn't be a problem unless you guys want, of course, a Spanish interview. That shouldn't be a problem for me either. So just tell me what I can do. Casquito can answer in English if he wants.
Well, you can have this one, Vitor. Take it away with our race winner here today.
Okay, so well, lo primero de todo, muchísimas felicidades porque ha sido una carrera estupenda. Ese safety car, ¿cómo te vino? Estabas ahí liderando prácticamente con Rhapsody justo antes de ese safety car y de repente conseguiste algo que tal vez no estaba en tus planes. ¿Cómo te sentiste con esa lanzada?
Nosotros, perdón, yo deseaba un safety car y lo fui esperando y ya en esa vuelta iba a parar. Tenía los neumáticos muy gastados y justo lo dejé pasar a Rhapsody para ahorrar ERS y apenas lo dejé pasar salió el safety car, así que estaba feliz, pero también me quería matar porque lo dejé pasar y perdí la posición, pero después lo pude pasar en la relanzada, así que no hubo problema.
Sí, respecto a eso, porque tenías mucho ritmo, parece, te sentías mejor que Rhapsody, y el mismo ritmo, vimos que tuvieron muchos adelantamientos entre ustedes, pero aún así se veía bastante parejo. Al final te llevas la victoria y aún así mantuviste a Becky B, a Chris y a Rhapsody detrás. Realmente tal vez el ritmo no estaba tan por debajo de como al principio parecía, ¿no?
Eh, la verdad, me tomó de sorpresa porque yo no pensaba tener tan buen ritmo porque no había practicado, pero me fue bastante bien y cuando vi que pude adelantar con las medias, largué con las medias y pude adelantar y me pegué a Rhapsody, me pegué en su DRS, ellos se venían peleando adelante y yo ahorré ERS, entonces después le pude pelear a Rhapsody con el ERS y se puede decir que al final de la carrera tenía más ritmo, pero cuando vi que se comió 3 segundos me calmé y no quería arriesgar Porque si me comía yo tenía 2 warnings, si me comía 3 segundos, perdía la carrera.
Perfecto espectáculo que diste. Esos blandos aguantaron hasta el final y yo creo que nada más que felicitarte porque el show que diste. Un poco de suerte, obviamente, siempre que pueda ayudar con el safety car, pero muchísimas felicitaciones porque es la segunda victoria. Últimas palabras en MRL para finalizar la temporada.
Nada, primero muchas gracias Vito. Esta es una muy buena liga, les quiero felicitar a los admins. Nada, gracias por todo.
Un saludo, disfrútalo. Yeah, so that was everything for Casquito. First of all, just asking the safety cars just on well, he didn't saw that coming, of course, but he was at the same time waiting for an opportunity like that as he was almost leading. But then he let Rhapsody by just before the pit stop, and he well, he was really angry with himself after not overtaking Rhapsody before the safety car. But yet he found he had pace, or at least better than Rhapsody, and well, he was able to keep him, Chris, Becky behind, of course, with those softs and the last stint. And of course, after that, he just wanted to say thanks to everyone of the MRL community that, of course, make this possible. So yeah, really happy the Argentinian for today. Race win, second race win for his name today. Sorry, on this season.
Yes, he is on very, very well indeed. Well, unfortunately, that is all the time that we have for this evening. Once again, a massive thank you to our lovely viewers and our partners, Next Level Racing, for making this season possible. But the action isn't over yet. We still have quite a few races to go. We're only halfway through, well, the week, of course. We have Tier 2 tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, Tier 1 on Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Then we have the F2 and APAC divisions on Sunday. We also have the Endurance Series, which I do believe is I think it's going to Canada this week. Even though we are in Austria for the real life F1, we're saving that for the Austrian Grand Prix. And I think it will be around the circuit Gilles Villeneuve for the Endurance Series. So 71 laps around that iconic circuit. And yeah, be sure to join us there on Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern for that one. But that's all from me. Thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you, well, sometime in the not too distant future. So, Bito, thank you for your assistance here tonight, and yeah, thank you to our lovely viewers as well. That's all from me. My name is Mikhail, and we'll see you in the next stream. Bye for now.